This is a meditative contemplation for overcoming our most primal fear. Perhaps the first fear we ever had. Perhaps the root of all subsequent fears. This contemplation is not intended to bring you all the way to the total eradication of this fear, as this fear is so deep, so primal, so primary. Let's not forget the word primal stems from primary, prime, meaning first. One, origin. As we have been enduring this fear, constantly running in the background, it stands to reason that this fear will not evaporate or dissolve immediately. So this contemplation serves as a powerful first step towards relinquishing this fear. And you need no background in meditation or spirituality. And it will require no belief. It requires no thought or imagination at all. This contemplation points towards the direct experience of now. And once even the slightest amount of relief from this fear is felt, it will be undeniable, undoubtable. And so the seeds of that particular peace, that particular serenity, will begin to warmly expand throughout the body, the mind, the entirety of your being. So, the first thing to contemplate here is, where is the you from 5 years ago? Cast your mind, memory, whole being back 5 years previous to this moment. Were you the same person 5 years ago that you are today? There may be similarities. We could say that person has grown or evolved, changed, developed, or even degenerated. Sure. However, if we take the snapshot of now, right now, the person you are today, and place that next to a snapshot of the person you were 5 years ago, and ask yourself in this meditative contemplation, is this the same person? Cast your mind back to how that person thought, how that person felt within themselves. cast your mind to that person's habits, ways of perceiving the world, the beliefs, the opinions, the ideas, the mindset of that individual from 5 years ago. How did that person feel on a daily basis? What was that person's desires, fears, aspirations? And how did that person feel about the past? How did that person relate to his or her own personal story? And has that changed at all over the last 5 years? Now, we have that picture in our mind of who that person was, the entire being, the mindset, even physically. Same person? The mindset, the ideas, the thoughts, the feelings, the activities, perhaps even the job has changed. Perhaps the family situation has changed. Is it not reasonable to say that this was, for all intents and purposes, a different person? Where is that person now? Do they exist within you? Have they gone? Where are they? Where is this person? Now, this person may exist in your mind as a memory, as a felt, remembered sense. But this memory arises within the now, this moment here. And just previous to beginning this contemplation here today, you had forgotten all about this person. It's only from this recall, this bringing to mind, that this person has been re-evoked. We can perform this exact same exercise, recalling the person from 5 years ago to any length of time ago. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and so on. Perhaps the you from before a very significant event for you. Perhaps a big happy event or a big sad event. The you that you were before that change. Where is that person now? Let us disregard memory now at this point. Your memory of that person will be far different to anyone else's memory of that person. Such is the way our perception works. Any perception of you, your activities, your speech, your way of being, will be filtered through other people's own experiences, their own ideas, opinions, and beliefs that cognitively alter their perception of you. So their story of you is not your story of you. So if we remove the memory of this person, we then realize that other people's memory of that person will be different to the memory that you were holding in your mind. And we find that person is no longer here. that person simply does not exist. Is the non-existence of that person a problem for you now? Really do this now. Let us sink deeply into this contemplation. Is the absence of that person from 5 years ago causing you pain? Now, in this moment here. Are you mourning that person? Are you grieving for that person? Until this image was brought to mind, you had forgotten all about this person. It was not a problem for you. Now, going even deeply into childhood, and being very aware the mind, due to the nature of what we're discussing here today, as well as the inevitably powerful emotions that are evoked from these memories, the mind will try to escape into some little dark corner, or perhaps a powerful emotion will rise up, or the mind can even be very tricky and say, oh, we don't have time for this today, we'll come back to this video later. We can't do this contemplation right now, we need to do it later. That is the mind trying to escape from what it knows is coming. The childhood self that you remember, where is that child? Now we could say that child grew, evolved, changed, all correct, all absolutely correct. But that child isn't here anymore. Perhaps the residue of that child, sometimes referred to as the inner child, very rightly so as well, is stored within the mind and the body. Yes, absolutely. Still reacting in those certain ways, and still, to some extent, operating the puppet show from behind the screens. Yes, it does. But where is the actual child? The physical, actual living child? No longer here. Now, you are not grieving this loss. You are not mourning this loss. All of those images, all of those people that we can recall from all of those different points in time in our history, they've all vanished. They already don't exist. Remember, exist means ex istare, to stand out. Those beings, those people, those individuals simply are not here. Memory? Sure. Thought? Sure. We might even use the memory of those beings to alter the way we act in our daily life, having learned the lessons from what those beings went through. Absolutely. It changes and informs our behavior within the here and now. Yes. But where are they? Already not here. Already. So, in one manner of speaking, could we not say that those people are deceased? By the standard definition, they are not here. They did exist, and now they don't. What kind of definition is that? What word could we use to describe somebody who was here but now is not? What word works there? But their absence is not a problem for you now. Right now, here, now. Their absence is not a problem for you now. You have already observed the changing form of one individual that changes so completely and so radically, physically, mentally, emotionally. You have experienced this change so radically that these beings, when taken from individual points in time, could be considered to be almost, not quite, but almost completely different people. You have already been multiple people in one lifetime. You have already been multiple people. And you can feel this in your experience now. So this you that you are today, will this be the same you in 5 years' time? Does it not stand to reason that if we did this very same contemplation again in 5 years' time, we would be saying the same thing about this particular individual body and mind? And this will always be true. Even if you did this same exercise tomorrow, you would be able to cast your mind back to the you that you were today. And due to being more recent, you may find more similarities between that person that you are today and the person you were yesterday. But still, the change in being is undeniable. By the time it's tomorrow, many things will have arisen in your experience and changed the being. New memories, new thoughts have occurred. So although subtle, the change, the shift is undeniable. But tomorrow, will you mourn or grieve the loss of the person you are today? So cast your mind forwards 5 years, 10 years. Multiple people that could still do this very same contemplative exercise, this very same one, and find exactly the same truth. So this is the beginning of opening awareness and understanding into a perceiving that you are not necessarily the person as you understand yourself to be, for that person is a collection of thoughts, ideas, opinions, belief, memory, and a body. but due to the incredible nature of total change, this person transforms continually. The multiple versions of you that have already existed, now gone, and this is not a problem. All is well now. Now, if we could contemplate here, what is the one constant present within all of those individual beings, including the one you are today, now? There is one constant, one indivisible, unchanging feature of all of those beings, including the one you are today. Remember, the body changes all the time, constantly evolving, changing, growing physically. So we might be tempted to point towards the body as the one constant, but I'm just inviting a elevated, transcendent way of observing the body also. The bodily sensations change, the physical appearance of the body changes. So, what if we could say not the body? That changes also. What is the one thing that is not subject to change? What is the only element of experience that has remained unchanged from the moment you became aware? Changes are what cause the background fears, the prediction of change. But what is the one thing in your experience that has never changed? Never, not once. It is as fresh and open and pure and clear and energized today that it ever was. I don't want to just give an answer, because it's always better for somebody to arrive at the conclusion themselves through contemplation, through meditation. So what has been here the whole time that is not subject to changing, that is not subject to the continually transforming process of life? There is a deep sense of safety and security in residing in that place of no change. as it's always been here, it stands to reason that it will still be here in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. It's never gone anywhere. It's always been here. You change, the world changes, life changes. But what doesn't change? This contemplation begins the dissolution, the dissolving, the evaporation of that deep, first, primal fear. The fear of non-existence. Because the you that you believe yourself to be already does not exist. It is already. It is already. It is only that which you have come to believe yourself to be that can perish. But this observation of change cannot perish. And just as all the versions of you have been and gone, and their non-existence is not a problem, so too this one here today will not be a problem for you when it's not here. But you will remain. Yes, you will. And you will not grieve the loss of something that was never here to begin with. Chattering finch and waterfly are not merrier than I. Here, among the flowers I lie, laughing everlastingly. No, I may not tell the best. Surely, friends, I might have guessed. Death was but the good king's jest. It was hid so carefully. Seek that which was hidden carefully. The most easily overlooked, but once seen, so obvious, so clear, so undeniable, it will remain as an unshakable security that pervades the background of all experience. The final resolution of that most primal fear. Thank you so much for watching and taking part in this guided contemplative meditation today. If you wish to support me in my work, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button if my message has resonated with you, if my method of guidance has resonated with you today. And if you wish to continue this exploration deeper, to deepen the understanding and find the true understanding of no change, then please feel free to become a channel member. You can join the channel there. For a small monthly subscription, which allows me to put more time, more energy, more effort into these videos, and will allow me to upgrade my equipment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video finds you well, and that contemplation today has been a positive and productive meditation for you. Take care, be well, and stay present.